Hi people, it's Asim, looking all very warm and wrapped up, but it's very cold and windy outside and it's getting dark. It feels like I don't know, like a European night for some reason. Maybe it's because it's an 8 o'clock kickoff. It's under the lights at Anfield where we welcome Brendan Rodgers and his Leicester team. It's not going to be easy, but I expect Liverpool to really go at it. The atmosphere, the crowd are going to be up for it. I think it's our first game since the World Cup break, but it's our last game of the year. So hopefully Liverpool can kick on from that brilliant win away to Villa. And we also had a nice little boost a couple of days ago, or was it yesterday? I can't even remember. Where Liverpool announced Cody Gakpo. We weren't expecting him. We were told he was going to Man United. Ten Hag is looking at him. He knows the player. He really likes him, and he's the perfect fit for that sort of system. But since he came to Liverpool, the Man United mouthpieces on Twitter have started a new campaign where suddenly he didn't fit the system. He wasn't that type of player. He was more of a Marcus Rashford type of player, and you know they've got that type of player or profile of player in their ranks, and they're looking at more of a replacement for Ronaldo. I don't know, maybe the Glazers PR team are busy explaining that to their fans, but it's not our problem. We've got Cody Gakpo in our ranks. Am I gonna sort of lie and say I've seen loads of him? No, I'm not. Am I gonna say he's a world-class talent? No, he's not, far from it. But what he is a youngster who is hungry for success. He seems like he's a family man, like he said, and he's had a proper upbringing. And under the guidance of Klopp and his team, and under this squad playing alongside the likes of Van Dijk and Mane. Oops, sorry about that, lads, guys. Salah, I'm too used to it over the last 5-6 years. But talking of Mane, he is going to play in that sort of role where he's going to play out wide. He's got the versatility to play across the front line, but mostly, especially when Jota and Diaz are out, we're going to see him play in that role, and I'm looking forward to it. And like I said, Klopp and his team are going to take a player who's hungry for success. And how many times have we seen a player come and we've taken him to the next level? We've taken a 30-40 million pound player to a 60, 70, 80 million, and the likes of Mane again and Salah, who's still at the club, obviously, we've taken them to 100 plus million type of players and into global superstars. And I hope so. If he's half as good as Mane and Salah, then we've got a star that we can look forward to, sort of pleasing us over the years, over the coming 5-6 years at Anfield. So there's more to come from maybe Liverpool in the transfer market. We're hearing that we're linked with Caicedo. It looks like we might have missed out on Enzo, who looks like he's going to end up at Chelsea, who's spending a bit of coin. But Liverpool are patient. They have a short list of players and they will pick the right players. And doesn't matter what sort of side of you are on the sort of FSG debate, when it comes to transfers, when it comes to dealing with players, when it comes to negotiations, will Liverpool make sure they get the right deal and on their terms? And if it's not on their terms, they'll walk away. And I can accept that. Sometimes you do need to pay a premium where you have to make sure you get your player, because there's none of that about the likes of Van Dijk, the likes of who else do we pay a lot of money? Alisson. So these sort of generational talents, and that's how good these guys have been for us. You have to make sure you get that player. These sort of players are sort of, as I try to change lanes, these sort of players are chased by many clubs, and sometimes you have to make sure you get that player. But when it comes to Cody, I'm 100% sort of in and confident about our process, our coaching staff, that we'll develop a player that is going to be a joy to watch over the years. Anyway, coming to the game, it's Liverpool v Leicester. Leicester, I expect to come. Brendan Rodgers has shown that he's got the intelligence and the flexibility to change his team from I don't know, a 4-4-2, a 4-1-4-1 formation to a 4-2-3-1 at times, as we've seen many times, especially since they've sort of turned a corner. He was on the verge of getting sacked. He was getting questions left, right and centre. There was so much pressure on him, and to his credit, they've somewhat turned a corner and recovered from that disastrous start that they had earlier part of the season. But I expect them to come, not park a bus, but be very organised, be very resolute and resilient tonight. Resilient, because they'll need it. They'll need a bit of luck. Every team that comes to Anfield will need a bit of luck, and we've seen teams like Crystal Palace, Newcastle and Leeds get results at Anfield this season. So Liverpool need to be on their game, and I hope we get the first goal, because we just look a different side. And Nunes, I think, will continue getting chances, and he'll bag. Once he bags, I'm sure we'll see a different Nunes in front of goal, because I don't want to see a different Nunes before he shoots. That's all he needs to bring to his game, and with the sort of the coaching again, from the guidance and the confidence that his management team will keep on giving him behind the scenes. And we've seen it again as Klopp keeps getting questioned about him. What you sense from those interviews from Klopp, and even the body language, that this sort of confidence and this belief that Klopp has in Darwin Nunes is real, and it's just not sort of a PR pitch, or him sort of just throwing googlies, if you like, in press conferences. This is a player that they really believe in. They sort of invested 85 million in a player that they just didn't buy because he played well against us. He was sort of chased and tracked and monitored for many months, and if not years, and Pep Linders knew this player for a long time, and I have no worries, and I'm sure you've heard me and my views on him in many podcasts and shows that we've been doing over the last couple of weeks, that once he gets that goal, I'm sure he is gonna start get a bit of a sort of a purple patch over the next couple of weeks. And you just watch out once he gets a goal, and you'll see a different type of Nunes, one that sort of doesn't think twice, is instinctive on goal, because that's the sort of Nunes we are looking for and we bought. When I saw him against Liverpool, when he came over with Benfica, everything was about him was instinctive, and you see sort of players, and it affects the best of players when it's not going right from in front of goal. Even the best get affected a bit mentally, and confidence shouldn't be underestimated. But anyway, in terms of Liverpool's lineup, I don't expect much change from Villa. It might be interesting to see if Konate gets the gets the pick ahead of Matip, but it just depends how fit Ibu is. But Klopp did say he's back and available. In terms of our fullbacks, I expect Trent and Robbo to start. The interesting one is Henderson or Harvey Elliott, especially when you consider Harvey Barnes for Leicester. Do we provide a bit more sort of protection for Trent on that side, or do we go and play the right way, on the front foot against Leicester tonight, and really go for the kill? It'll be interesting to see which sort of way Liverpool go for, but I'm not sort of fussed as to who plays tonight, because of the setup that we're playing with these days, where Liverpool is still an integral part of our build-up, bringing in Trent on the ball, but it's slightly different now. And we saw that since the start when we played Rangers at home in the Champions League, where Trent is part of a 3-2 build-up rather than a 2-3-5 build-up. For those who like to sort of take an interest in tactics, stay tuned. We've got a tactics show coming for you. We're just finishing a few things off in our studio, and we've got so much sort of tactical analysis when we can really dig deep and discuss games in further detail when it comes to tactics. So for those tactic nerds, stay tuned for that sort of content. But in terms of tactics, I think that's what Liverpool have sort of done to protect Trent, and it sort of makes him face the play a lot more. Funnily enough, so I was checking that since he changed into a 3-2 build-up, he's obviously getting a lot more recoveries. That shows you he's not running the other way and chasing his winger as much. He's still coming and making sure that we're not predictable. So he sometimes does, go out wide, and Henderson comes into a third centre-back position. He sometimes drops into midfield, and Henderson goes round him on the overlap. So Liverpool are making sure that still isn't a part of his game, and you don't want to take that away from Trent, because he's got so much to give on the ball, especially. But on the ball, I think we've just sort of reined him back a little, and I'm all up for that, especially when you see Robertson, who's defensively better, but who's got probably better recovery skills, and getting back into position. But when we're on the ball, obviously, in terms of balance and making sure we've got that switch. Trent, how many times did you pick out Robbo on the switch at Villa Park? And we'll continue to see it today. I expect that sort of setup to stay now for the foreseeable future. But like I said, it's still flexible, it's still fluid, to make sure Liverpool are not predictable. And I really, really like that. And you must give credit to Klopp and his team for making sure that's given us another sort of asset to our sort of build-up and attack. So yeah, I expect a good game. I expect a high-scoring game again in terms of Liverpool bagging those goals. We need a win. It's been a brilliant start since we got that away win at Villa. We've got the boost of Cody Gakpo. We might get a midfielder, but we need 3 points tonight, and it'll be a good way to really go into January and really climb up that table, because that's all we want. Liverpool are a dangerous side when they're chasing, and as Klopp, our manager, our boss, touched on in his presser, that Liverpool are in chasing mood. And when Liverpool are in a chasing mood, they're a dangerous side. How many times have we seen Liverpool chase City, catch them sometimes, fall short sometimes, because City are a brilliant side. But one thing's for sure, we ain't going to give up that fourth spot, even maybe higher. Some fans have been very, very optimistic on Twitter this week, but I'm looking forward to tonight. We just need 3 points and a good performance, and you never know, that big man might catch a brace, might get a brace tonight. I predict that every game, but I don't care. I'll keep on predicting it till he grabs a brace for us. Anyway, thank you very much for listening. I've waffled on for about best part of 13 minutes, so I do apologize. These are supposed to be really short, snappy type of videos, but I'll get told off again by the admin guys, but I don't care. Thank you very much for keeping me company along the way to Liverpool, and we shall catch you on the other side of the 90. Take care, and up the Reds.